All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to you Akim out there that's laboring in this truth and sincerity without wavering. And this lesson, Lord willing, through the Spirit, might be a quick hit or whatever. I woke up a little while ago, and this is one of the first articles I've seen. You know, news pops up, or you start searching to see what's going on. Basically, waking up like we still here yet? Am I still here? That's an inside joke for the beloved Apostle Gabar. He knows where that's from. But you know, you wake up in the morning growling, man. You know, because we in fucking hell, man. We in hell, so you know, you waiting to see like shit, man. Because we living in the time where it can happen any moment, man. Any moment, any fucking moment, bro. It's too much. Like it's too much information out there. Too much things happening to not know that we're in the time of the end. You know, like the scriptures say in Second Ezra, is the time. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come to the art. I mean, you see that article, right? The title of the show. If I didn't say, you still think they love you. All right, we're gonna kick it off into that. But let me come into let me get into this real quick. All right, let me get into this real quick, like, man. This scripture always pops in my head when things like this happen. You know, was it Second Ezra 9 or 8? Let me see. Okay, Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. Said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And that's what we're doing. When you see brothers constantly going, updating the prophecies, going in on prophecy, because that's what it's about, man. You know, at the end of the day, the men of the Lord are the prophets, man. They're here to tell you what the Lord said before it happened, to warn you, to wake you up, or condemn you. All right. The elder brother Anab said he had made a statement which is true. He said people come into our lives, and we meet people, whether for them to receive a blessing or for them to be condemned. And most time it's the latter, right? Because the majority of this world is going to be condemned. So it said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, which we're seeing it. Have we not been telling you that there was going to be all kind of wars, man? I mean, World War III is just a cherry on the cake. And that's all they talking about. What is it? North Korea said, look, they got authority. They said, look, we can automatically launch a nuclear missile. Why would they say that, man? All right. And maybe that, if the Spirit allow, go on another lesson. Salaki, I didn't get a chance to go back to the other lesson. Shit is real hectic, but, Lord willing, I still plan on touching that again, because that was a lot more information to bring out, Lord allow. But it's so much information. It's information out there, But the point is, why would they sit there and say that? Because before you use a nuclear weapon, because of the magnitude, the WMD that it is, the magnitude of destruction it causes, normally there's certain protocols that, now they're saying, look, fuck, man, look, basically push that motherfucker when you think it's time to push that motherfucker. Because why? The threats are getting realer, all right? And that's the Lord. The Lord said he's going to threaten. We ain't threatening nobody. The Lord going to do it to you. But it says, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So the Lord told us. That's why we tell you it's going to be race riots. It's going to be class riots. It's going to be societal collapse, a civil war. All these different things are going to be going on, primarily in America, but also it's already happening throughout the world. All right? The whole world is going to be on fire, and that's the ill thing about how, show you the power of the Most High, because like the Lord said, as in the days of Noah, they shall be eaten and given in the marriage. So people are going to be partying, boogieing in certain places, because one man's demise is another man's come up, so to speak. That's why the international bankers, they've always, they've financed wars and everything. A lot of lives are lost. But a lot of opportunities were created for them, really for them, to make more money, with these wars and getting the contracts and so forth and so on. The whole gambit of why they do these things, how ruthless and vile they are, So same thing is happening. All right. But it says, when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand. It's speaking about the elect, right? Because what's that? We get that in Daniel's real quick, and I'm we'll get to the article, but Spirit's taking it this way right now. So Daniel's 12. I just want to get the exact quote. Right, it says, matter of fact, I'm going to start at 8, 12 and 8. The point I wanted is in 10. It says, and I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? See, Daniel is a prophet, so he's asking when is going to be the end of what things? The end of this wicked kingdom, Babylon the Great. The end of this world, this wicked world that we all are living in. So he asks the Most High plainly, like, when is going to be the end of this world? You see? And let's see what the Lord answered him. Let's see how the Lord answered him. All right. Grab this suja up real quick. Bear with me 1 second. All right. So now reading back on. Now actually, let me read that again. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And that's the spirit that all of us, we're all looking like, what's going to be the end of it, man? At least that's the mentality you're supposed to have, man. As long as we here, man, we looking, can't wait for this place to be done with, man, right? Even like the scriptures tell you about the, the creatures wait for the earnest manifestation of the sons of the Most High, meaning the animals and trees and everything that has a living spirit in it is waiting for the end of this place and the beginning of the kingdom that followed, that Ezra wrote about. All right, which is our kingdom. That's what Yahweh Shai came and preached. That's what he was preaching. That's what we've been preaching. And in our kingdom, and according to the Holy Bible, it does not include you Edomites, man. So that's why it's almost laughable, which the article I'm going to go into, you got, because these Edomites, they always hated you niggas, man. But a lot of y'all think they love you. But this is why the Lord was dealing with the prophets, man. All right? It says, and he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. So what did that mean? That means Daniel died. All right? Daniel died. Like the other prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah. So why would the Lord say, go thy way? Meaning you going back to the spirit world. All right? Because it wasn't going to happen in the life, in the time of Daniel. All right? Which, don't quote me the exact time, but Daniel was around the Babylonian and I believe the Persian Empire. So he was around, around roughly 500 BC, 600, 500 BC. I mean, I had to go and get I got all kind of time charts, but I'm just, if brothers want to look up and get the actual time, you could do that, you know what I'm saying? But the point of the matter is, that wasn't the time, as clearly we could tell, being 2,500 years in the future from when these words were written, all right? If not a little more, all right? So he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. So now the words aren't closed up no more. Ever since 2,000 years ago when Yahweh Shai came, right, and he was crucified, that's when the seals were broken. But we still had it wasn't time still back then, but the understanding was there. That's why the Apostle Paul, he was able to break down the mystery of iniquity, which now worketh. In his age, it was what? The ancient Roman Empire. And this day is still the new Roman Empire, which is the same beast whose deadly wound was healed in America, right? That's what the script. See, the spirit of the Lord, if the Lord ain't dealing with you, you're not going to understand these things, man. And I thank Yahweh Shai for allowing us from the head elder apostles and all the brothers that's in the fold, whatever part of the body you are, because all parts are necessary, man. You know what I'm saying? So brothers that don't ever feel like you insignificant, all right? Every brother in this truth is important. If you sincerely in this word, you're important, man. The scriptures tell you about the uncomely parts, right? They have more abundant grace with the Most High, if I'm quoting it right. So every brother that's in this, and hell, even the sisters too, the sincere sisters and women out there, all right, they have their role to play too. We all got our parts and role to play, man. All right, but he said, and to he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. So now, like it said in Habakkuk, all right, it said, for in that day it shall speak. So now we see the prophecy speaking, man. It says, many shall be purified, right, and made white and tried. Who's that speaking about? That's speaking about the prophets, the men of the Lord, man. The elect of Israel, not these Edomites, man. Not these other nations, man. These actual other heathens, man. It's speaking about the Israelites, man, being purified with this truth, man. Yahweh Shai says, sanctify them through thy truth. Sanctify meaning to make clean, to make holy. All right? Because we all came from a Gentile state of mind. So the Lord made us holy with this word. That's why the scriptures speak about the washing of the word. Not that you're supposed to get some dirty basin of fucking water, muddy ass, fluoridated water, and bob a nigga head down, bob the baby down, and sprinkle some stupid ass water. Nah, that's not what it's talking about. The water, the real water, is talking about the word, and tons of scriptures that prove that. But it said, many shall be purified and made white and tried, and that's why we go through the fiery trial. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. So Esau, that's why he's still going, even though they know things. There's a difference between knowing something but understanding it. Always remember that, all right? Because the Most High, he controls both sides. He said the deceiver and the deceived are his. He said, but the wise shall understand. All right? So now, that was the point. Let's go back to Ezra, where we was at, 9. Right? So it says, again, I'm going to read from the top. It said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand. So who's going to understand? Pursuant to Daniel, the prophets, the wise. That it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So that's the time that we're in. We're in judgment time, man. And that judgment faucet is broke, man. Judgment is just, the Lord said he's going to have judgment run like rivers, man. All right? And man, I'll be damned if that judgment ain't running, man. All right? It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, right? They just had a earthquake in China. And like I said, it's not even no real news. I mean, they report it, but nobody really, because why? The Lord doesn't give a damn about these heathens, man. Even when devastation comes to them, it's not really, now if there was like an earthquake in California or Compton or Chicago, where the projects are, and 78 niggas, however many people died, that would be world news. That would break the fucking internet, all right? But the Moabites, a lot of people don't even know that there was an earthquake the other day, a pretty major earthquake in China, you see? So it said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, you got everybody speaking out and claiming corruption about all the leaders. The United States, everybody already know what the hell it is. You see, you got Esau fighting against Esau. And there is a civil war. So now, going to this article, right, which it says, I'm pretty sure you brothers might hear more of it. If not, you heard about it already. It says, U.S. soldier kicked out of Army after FBI says he enlisted to become better at killing black people. Now that title right there says a lot, okay? And this is U.S. soldiers that everybody talk about, go join the Army, be the Army, right? The same people that didn't have to take the, what, because they were covered. They didn't have to take it, right? The same people that are going to be coming to this after all the chaos ensues and things get so ugly or whatever. These National Guards and, different soldiers, just like they did, what was that, around the time of 9/11 or whatever, when they, this beginning of the so-called, what they call, quote-unquote, war on terror began, and they started putting soldiers in the different subway stations, different courthouses, armed, with machine guns and all that type shit. Well, actually, they're going to be coming to get busy on a lot of you niggas, man. Playtime is over, all right? Playtime is over, man. Jake's still out here playing around thinking it's a game. Jake doing stupid shit, doing stupid challenges, frivolous debates. You see, Jake ain't waking up, man. You see, clearly the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night. But it says, this cracker nigga, this Edomite nigga. He said he joined the army to become better at killing black people. So again, this is, and one, you know, right now you don't know what to believe, right, with a lot of the media, because a lot of, we know about the what do they call it, false flags, and we know about the crisis actors and all that stuff, and we know that they stage certain things to to push propaganda and to push legislation, you see, which goes into Isaiah the 10th chapter. So we know that they do these things as well so that they can make new laws to further inflict, and which they want to make a move on us. We're the real target, because why? Who's really speaking against this society, man? Who's been speaking against? Don't tell me no guy that just came on the scene or sitting there Johnny come lately, but they still trying to figure out ways, they trying to be self-righteous. Or if you ain't talking about Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, then you ain't saying nothing. I don't care how well versed, because you got a lot of guys out there that are well versed. They're very great with their speeches and things of that nature, right? You got some people that are good at researching, so you know you might could use them for certain information. Some people are good, you know, researchers, but if you ain't speaking about the truth, it don't matter. You see, it don't matter. So that's why I boldly say that if you're not speaking about Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's word truly, which through the grace of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai we are at Great Millstone, you know, and whoever teaches the same thing that we're teaching, but there's only one truth, man. All right, and they got to be 100%. You can't sit there. You can't sit there and talk about Allah, but I agree with you, brother. No, you don't, man. Because the Most High is not Allah. That was a man-made religion. You still, you know, guys calling themselves Muslim and all this and that. You still sleep, man. You still don't really know what's going on. Even though you might be awoke to certain things, you're not really fully awoke. You see, you still in that slumber. You ain't even get up out the bed yet. Okay, but anyway, let me read this article, because this is what's going down. And when I read this, I said, how many other, and I said, maybe he did something to piss somebody off, so they, you know, because that's what this devil do. He hangs out his own. He leaves his own out to dry. Look at what's going on with the so-called presidents, Trump and Biden. They both two big jokes, man. But you niggas love them. Y'all was happy. Anybody but Trump. Almost sound like what y'all did to the Lord with Barabbas, man. Here it is, the Lord ain't never did nothing, not one sin. Only man to be perfect. But y'all wanted him to, this is our people that did this, man. You're responsible, man. You gave him up to them Roman soldiers, man. You said, give us Barabbas, man. Let his blood be upon our children. And that's why, you know, your children went through bloody hell throughout slavery, even still to this day. Look at it. This guy say he joined the army so he could learn how to better kill black people, man. To become better at killing black people. All right? And we've been trying to warn you, but you got niggas that sit there and go, nah, brother, that ain't the Christian way. Or nah, brother, it ain't, you know, nah, they ain't all like that. Nah, brother, it ain't like that. Well, now you got the Israelite foreigners. I mean, we always tell you about that. You got our people that look like so-called white people, like a Eminem, a Robert De Niro, a Bruce Lee, these guys that have the same spirit as our people, because they are our people, but they're trapped in those bodies, you know, through years of our people being mixed through all the other nations. So that's one of the other keys that a lot of people don't understand, have that understanding. They look at it at face value, you know, and then now you got the new thing, they talking about the Latinos as if they're like a different people from the so-called blacks. No, they're all part of the 12 tribes of Israel. But you got our people that's scattered amongst all the other people. Look in Vietnamese, right? From Vietnam, the soldiers the blacks and Latino and Native American Indians left kids over there. They did movies about that back then. And that happened throughout the whole world. It's just that everybody is asleep and don't know, have the information or know. But that's neither here nor there. That's just a little tidbit for those who sit there and want to say, you know, well, this dude, man, he ain't your regular white boy. Yeah, because he's a nigga. And a lot of them have Irish background, Italian back. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, but that go back to the so-called blacks anyway, because we ruled Europe. They talking all this big deal about this nasty, old, decrepit Queen Elizabeth. It was nothing romantic. Them motherfuckers were devils, man. Devils, devil worshippers. They were pedophiles. It's reported, you know how much stuff they swept under the rug of the wickedness that they did? They were the original Pizza Gators, man. They was part of the original team, man. They put Hillary Buff, whatever the fuck that bitch Clinton, Rodman, whatever the fuck her name is. They put her onto that shit, man. Jeffrey Epstein and all them. They were doing that back then. All right? And they're not the nobility. They're not the original royalty of England. Do research. And they know that. They got the archives locked up. The people that ruled England and throughout Europe was our people, man. They stole that, man. They stole our heritage, man. That's why the Lord said in John 10:10, the thief cometh not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy, man. You see? So that old rusty, crusty bitch, they're going to have a 10-day, 12-day mourning pill, or whatever the fuck it is. That's all bullshit. And you're going to have a lot of niggas sitting there weeping. I can't believe it. You know? You have niggas, man. This bitch ain't give a fuck about you. She ain't give a fuck about the so-called West Indians and Jakes that are over there in Europe, in England, the UK, the islands, the British Isles, Jamaica. She didn't care about you. She was going up there. They were taking kids, and they got caught in Canada. They went to a boarding school of so-called Native American Indians, which is the tribe of Gad, and they abducted, I think it was, I forgot the number, 70-something students. And then the other students said, after they came, they left. He said, we never see none of them kids again. This is the type of ill shit that they was on, man. All right? That's why the scripture said, all thy enemies should... Matter of fact, hold up, man. Hold on, man. I mean, I guess through the Spirit got me with a lot to say. You know, I want to get through that article. I know I'm supposed to be making some moves, but, man, you know, you get amped up, man. You know, which... The truth is supposed to amp you up anyway, man. You know? You ain't supposed to be no fucking dead corpse in the truth, man. Alright? But this is, man. Jeremiah. Man, slacking, brothers, man. This is all juicy stuff, man. I'm gonna cherry pick. I'm gonna Hebrew hopscotch this. Alright? For the sake of time and trying to, you know, Lord willing, get to the other point. Jeremiah 30:11. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee. And trust, that doesn't mean none of you other nations. If you're not an Israelite, the Lord is, period. We ain't never said that these so-called white people, which are Edomites, the real so-called Arabs, which are Ishmael, not these fake Arabs, these Greek Arab, not them, the real Ishmaelites, the real Elamites, the real Japhetic people, the real Hamites. Because you got a lot of our people that was scattered, of course, not just West Africa, but throughout Africa. I'm talking about the real heathens. You can't be saved. You're not an Israelite, you cannot be saved. It said, though I make a full end of all nations, see, whither I have scattered thee. Showing you that the Most High ain't dealing with the other nations. It said, where I scattered thee. Was we not speaking about that? That's why you have a Eminem or John Travolta. And not to say that these dudes, they're devils, they worship the devil or whatever, they're going to die. But the point is, the same thing as another wicked nigga. Because they're like, well, John Travolta's a faggot. Yeah, so was Luther Vandross. All right, you going to tell me that nigga wasn't a nigga? Well, guess what? John Travolta's a faggot-ass nigga that's going to die. And when he comes back, he's going to come back with his skin that his great-great-great-grandfathers had. Same thing with all these other Israelite foreigners, man, throughout the other nations. But the Lord said, though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measures. So that's why we went through the things we went through, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished, because we had to be punished. We had to go into slavery for breaking the Lord's commandments. If you got a son and your son violates the rules and regulations you set, if he sits there and disrespect you and raise, you got to bust his ass. That don't mean that you don't love him, but if you let that slide, like, oh, that's cute, man, my man, you know, then guess what? You really don't love your son. And it's going to come back and bite you. And he's not going to learn nothing. So the Most High had to whoop our, he busted our ass by setting these devils up over us, man. To where everything is all mixed up and backwards, man, right? But he said, but I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. Talking about us. What fuck, meaning the situation. You look at these niggas, man. The brother Monica, he sent me this video. Well, I don't know what kind of Hebrew this dude is. And I seen the video before. Dude looking like, I don't know, what he look like, the Lion King out there singing a song, trying to sing a song to the Most High. He's all bugged out. Like, Jake is messed up out there, man. You know? Jake is really messed up out there. He said, there's none to plead thy cause. And Queen Elizabeth damn sure ain't plead no cause for you niggas, man. But you're going to have niggas sitting there. You might have a nigga get a tattoo of Queen Elizabeth. That's a damn blood drinking. You know, like I think it was Bishop or not. He said, yeah, they must have ran out of adrenochrome. That's what these devils do. They drink that blood, man. That ain't what's the word? That's the truth. It ain't a conspiracy theory. That's why now they're attacking you know, you can't speak or be a critical thinker. You can't have conspiracy thoughts. You can't you know, think nothing like that. They're saying that's dangerous, and they're gonna start moving on people. We in that time, man. We in that time. All right, we in that time, and brothers really lock in inside inwardly, spiritually, man. Connect with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Don't take the time for granted. Don't get caught and just fall by the wayside, or just, you know, the normal business as usual. Don't get caught up into that, man. I mean, you got to handle your business as a man in the Lord, but make sure, and you know, and another thing, of course, which shouldn't have to be said, make sure you put Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai first. Period, man. Period, man. And pray. If you do, you know, pray. You need help, you need a Most High, then pray. You know, so you sincere believing brothers. You got the name. That's the password, man. But if you don't use it, how can you expect to enter in? It said, "There's none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up." Who's trying to really solve? They rocked niggas to sleep years ago with the 40 acres, 2 mules. Biden's gonna come in, things are gonna change. Biden came in there and became a fucking complete idiot, man. Played with dementia and all kind of other spirits, man. He's being exposed. He looked like a real rotten red devil, man. I was gonna say a red lobster, but he looked like a real and all the dirt that he did is, you know, is coming out. All of them motherfuckers were doing that Pizzagate type shit, man. And that's what they got a lot of niggas into. They locked up this nigga R. Kelly, which, you know, yeah, he's a foul nigga. He's some, and that serves him right. Even though that they, you know, there's a ton of other people that should be locked up. Hell, all the so-called white people in power, the politicians, they all should be locked up because they did worse than what R. Kelly did. But R. Kelly, he's an Israelite, and they making examples out of that nigga, and that serves him right too, because all of his songs was promoting adultery, man. A lot of you niggas was promoting adultery, sleeping with another nigga's wife and thinking that that's some cool shit or some brownie points, and then a lot of you wicked women, y'all love that shit, y'all you know? Then he'll come back with a step in the name of love. But wait a minute, you just talk about creeping low, keep it on the down low and all that other shit. You see? So he got what Esau railroaded him. Yeah, they did. That's what the devil does. Bill Cosby. They railroaded him. That's what the devil does. They ain't give a damn how old and whatever his condition was. They wanted to lock that nigga up, man. Nigga, you think you gonna buy PBS? You think you could get like us? Fuck out of here. Esau, look, Esau has no problem reminding you niggas that you are niggas, man. Just because y'all got a little position, don't think that you really empowered. Esau is allowing these entertainers, these politicians to do the things that they doing. All right, at the end of the day, they're still puppets, whether they know it or not. So it said, "There's none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines." And what's really the solution to niggas? Niggas always talk about some economics. Oh, we got to stop killing the... Well, do you know why niggas are killing each other? Well, yeah, agree. No, nigga, that's the curses, man. Because of who we are. You don't know who you are. You left your power. You went against his law, statutes, and commandments. So he said he was going to cause the brothers that was eye who was tender and delicate amongst his brother, his eye should be evil toward his neighbor, man. So that's why you got so-called black on black crime, Latino on Latino crime. That's why niggas can't really get together, because y'all ain't woke up to the truth yet. So it said, "Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee," because yeah, these elites, just like even in the islands, man. You go to some of these islands, like in Jamaica, you had, you know how many niggas died for these fucking heathens, man? There's a dude's name, I forget their name, Siago and all them other, the different parties and everything. Esau played them niggas, man. Then they gave y'all fucking Haile Selassie, which is another demon. He's a fucking chump too on top of it. All right? But you got all people, you know how many of y'all people died fucking with these other heathens, man? You see? It said, "All thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not." Because once they make their money off you, they don't give a fuck about you. When they're in your face, you know, Arab or, "Oh, my brother. Then once after they don't need you no more, the fuck out of here, you know? Because they don't give a fuck. They happy, and the scriptures tell you, they happy that we're on a low state right now. But see, the Lord is about to change that. He about to flip the script for real. He about to put us back in the power seat. But it's going to take a lot of our people that's going to die. The casualties is going to pile up. Majority of our people are not going to make it. They're going to suffer. They're going to feel it. Their kids are going to die because they're wicked as hell. They're going to take that hippo, right? They're going to they're going to take that easy just to survive, because even though we tell them, they still love these devils. Even though they see how these devils have no regard and don't care about them, they got a super duper Stockholm syndrome, man. All right? And some of them try to claim they don't, but their actions prove that they do. It said, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. That's the Lord saying. He did a number because he raised up the so-called white man. He said he's going to bring a fierce nation against us. And all we got is cruelty from these devils, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity. So the Lord's telling you right there why. The multitude. It's not that you went off on one thing. You generationally, and you see Jake, they get more and more wicked, man. More and more wicked. That's why the Lord said, look, man, why should I stricken you anymore? You're going to only rebel and be more wicked. So now the Most High is to the point where he's just taking us out. It's that time. And then the elect, the ones that make it out of here, then the Lord's going to use the elect of the nation of Israel to bring the rest of the Israelites back. All the Israelites that die. So, because thy sins were increased. And we see it. You got niggas and super faggots, niggas blonde. You ain't supposed to have blonde hair. You ain't supposed to be dyeing your hair. You ain't supposed to be getting tattoos on your body and things of that nature. You see? Making marks for the dead. The scriptures tell you not to do that. But our people are saturated into that wickedness, man. So that's why the Most High allowed things to happen. That's why you got little girls and babies getting killed. Remember, the issues of death belong unto the Lord. If you call yourself believing in the Heavenly Father, believing in the Bible tells you plain, 1 Samuel 2:6, I kill and I make alive. So why is our people being killed? Because of what? The multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Because you always have a nigga saying, oh, that's not right. You always got people marching, right? No justice, no peace. Justice for this one, justice for that one. Well, the Lord said, thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. The Lord is telling you straight up why he busted your ass. Therefore, all they that devour thee, the Lord said all right, Moab, Ammon, all these other nations, they all devoured us. They all helped put us in the coffin, basically, man. This goes into the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, all right, where it tell you about the dogs licked his wounds. Yeah, that's other nations. Here it is, we already fucked up. And they come and taking whatever little bit that we have, man. So the Lord said, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. There is a payback coming. And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. Right? So this dusty old wretched bitch, Queen Elizabeth, the next time, because there is a reincarnation, the next time she's on the earth, she's going to be born as a slave, man. Biden, Trump, all these devils that you see, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the elites, they're going to be marched right into slavery, man. The Bible tells you that. The Holy Bible. All right? It says, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. They that spoil thee, meaning robbed. Who's the people more robbed than us, man? So this shows you that this is not the white man's book, because it's basically putting them on blast. It said, they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all that prey upon thee is not the black man. Has he not been the biggest prey? Have not they weaponized the nigger woman and turned her straight against them? Right? Has they not physically, mentally, scientifically sought out to destroy and break down the so-called black man, Latino man, Native American, Indian man? And it's not a coincidence, because they know that we're the Israelites. It says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they called thee an outcast, right? Oh, you ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas. And that's why these Klan or these neo-Nazis, they're drunk. They're so stupid. They don't know nothing about real history, or, all these Masons and Knights of Columbus, these old, whatever they call it. They got different names or whatever. They don't know no better. They believe the hype. They really think that we're a bunch of outcasts, that would no good. Our lives is over. It said, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Nobody was coming to help us. Who really came to the hood or whatever to change the ghetto? There shouldn't even be no more ghettos. If anything, you know. But nah, the ghettos increased. And then now they started gentrifying us. Here it is, we living a little rat infested out. Now they kicking you out so they can rebuild it for what? The elites. And they don't give a damn where you go or if you got anywhere to go. But anyway, now let's go back to this article. I'm just read through it. Y'all can look it up. You know, it said a former soldier who prosecutors claimed enlisted to become better at killing black people was kicked out of the army following an FBI investigation that uncovered ties to white supremacist organizations and Nazi ideology. Killian M. Ryan was arrested August 26 and charged with one count of knowingly making a false statement on his application for a secret security clearance. Yeah, because you got a lot of these guys that are part of these different mercenary groups, for lack of better words, but they call them secret operatives or whatever, right? Black ops and all that stuff. A lot of them are your skinheads and all that. Why do you think they get all this ammunition and everything? Look, we're not gonna win this war through carnal weapons, man. We're gonna have help from on high. All right? But this devil said, look, he joined so, he wanted to learn how to kill people, more blacks. You see? It said, watch, I'm gonna read on some more stuff. They said on the same day he was discharged from the army for serious misconduct. And maybe he went wild, because a lot of them are part of the MK Ultra. A lot of them skinheads, them neo-Nazis. So when they wanted the helter skelter to commence, they got them in position, they train them. Remember, they were training like that overseas. And I think it was a German commander. They had a bunch of prop dummies that they were shooting at. The prop dummies were black with baseball caps, to the side or backwards. And in German, I don't know if that video is still online, but he said, act like this is a nigga that just killed your great-grandmother, that killed your grandmother or whatever. And now you got a chance. What are you going to... And they just went... they went crazy, man. They just shot the shit up out of those props. So that's the spirit of Esau, man. All right? And that's why, again, I got to bring this out now. Let's see. Ecclesiasticus. Something that we always tell you about. Right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 12. Verse 10, get straight to it. Never trust thine enemy. See? Never trust thine enemy. Because why? Esau has always been the enemy, man. And they're always plotting on Jake. The scriptures tell you that, man. And again, man, it's a lot of information. Man. Lord willing, you brothers know this. The Spirit just got me saying some things in the Spirit, according to the scriptures, the holy scriptures of the Bible. The Spirit's telling me to just wrap it right here. So what I'm going to do is see if, again, I know forgive me, brothers, I really be wanting to come back to these things, but sometimes, how everything is speeding up. There's always some other stuff. But if I get a chance, I'll go more into it. It's basically, it was an article. It triggered a lot of thoughts and precepts and everything, but to go through this is going, it's just going to trigger more. So maybe if the Spirit allowed, definitely do another part to this in continuation, and as well as the last video, I still want to do that because I still have some information. So with that, I'm gonna end it right there. I say Kal Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I'm gonna say Shalom to you sincere Akim out there. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Brakathum. Shalom.